The story comes to us from abc7.com. Out of Los Angeles, Sheriff Alex Villanueva is back in the news. And this time there's an accusation that he's covering up an accusation. Let's look at it. Well, Los Angeles County Sheriff Alex Villanueva is facing accusations of covering up a violent jail incident between a deputy and an inmate, then lying by saying he didn't know about it for months. Eyewitness News has obtained a video showing the 2021 fight and an internal investigations report which determined the sheriff's department buried the case because of the potential for this incident to shed negative light on the department given its nature and its similarities to the widely publicized George Floyd use of force.
We've had quite an eventful week.
4 days now since these shocking images, since a deputy was seen with his knee on the neck of an inmate, since allegations of a cover-up. And now LA County Sheriff Alex Villanueva coming forward.
What was your immediate reaction when you saw that?
As soon as I saw that, I said, this needs to be referred for a criminal case and the personnel need to be relieved of duty.
It happened as the trial of former officer Derek Chauvin was beginning. So they were beginning, remember, last March 2021, they're beginning the trial of Minnesota police officer Derek Chauvin. And then this incident occurred. Now, Eli Vera, who is planning to run against Villanueva to become the next Los Angeles County Sheriff, was quoted as saying the sheriff was concerned that it was going to look bad on the department or look bad specifically on him. So the case was essentially buried. Now, Eli Vera is a former division chief at the Los Angeles County Sheriff's Department and retired this April after 33 years on the force. And again, he's planning to run against Villanueva to be the next sheriff. Vera said, quote, after becoming aware of the incident and the circumstances, I became very concerned with what I was reading and learning. So I decided to do the only thing that was proper, and that was to hand it over to the Inspector General so he could investigate it.
The Los Angeles Times uncovering the pictures from March 10th last year. Deputy Douglas Johnson first seen taking a punch from the inmate at the San Fernando jail. As another deputy moves in to help, Deputy Johnson places his right knee on the inmate's neck. The LA Times reporting that despite the inmate being handcuffed, that knee remained on his neck for more than 3 minutes as other deputies casually walked around. The inmate was taken to the hospital with minor injuries.
Now, this is while they're getting ready to try Derek Chauvin in Minneapolis for what he did to George Floyd. Like, the timing's not great here. An internal report shows that inmate Enzo Escalante suffered only minor injuries, but the sheriff's department did not open a criminal investigation into the use of force by the deputy until late November, and has still not referred the case to the LA County District Attorney's Office for potential charges. Well, that's because they think he used justified use of force, I guess. I don't know. However, protocol requires that the district attorney be notified to determine if Escalante should face new charges for punching the deputy. And the sheriff's department would open a use of force investigation into Deputy Johnson's actions.
And you didn't feel at any point that that needed to be made public before the LA Times exposed it?
Well, considering that the person was really there was no serious injuries, it was something that needed to be investigated properly, but not something that is earth-shattering news.
The Times claiming supervisors attempted to cover it all up.
We do not do cover-ups.
But in the same breath, the sheriff also admitting there is an investigation to see why his own supervisors didn't bring it to him sooner.
Now, LA County Inspector General Max Huntsman said, of course you would expect an investigation. We're told it doesn't appear to have been the kind of investigation you would expect. And so the question is, why? Huntsman's office oversees and monitors Sheriff's Department. He says he has opened an investigation into the alleged cover-up by Villanueva. Now, for his part in it, Villanueva held a press conference addressing the case and said he was unaware of the fight and the knee on the neck procedure by his deputy until more than months later. And that's plausible. No, that's plausible because if you think about it, how many deputies does this sheriff have under his control? We're talking about Los Angeles County here. So it's possible that they went, we don't talk about this. It's possible. Something like that could happen. But when he did find out, he should have just taken control right then and said, okay, some people are getting chopped. This is it. You should have told me months ago. Some people are on the chopping block. That's what he should have done as a leader. But Villanueva said it came to the attention of my office, and the date when that happened was actually November 18th. ABC 7 asked to interview Villanueva, but he declined. The department now says the sheriff knew of the fight in October. Vera says even that date is a lie. Eli Vera was quoted as saying, the sheriff was definitely shown the video back in March of last year. There were multiple members of the organization that were there, that were present. It was viewed in a public place where there's other secondary people that were there that could witness it. Vera also says the sheriff is blaming two of his highest ranking executives for not handling the use of force case properly, and that Villanueva told Assistant Sheriff Robin Lyman and Division Chief Lawana Hasselrig to retire or they would be demoted.
We hold everyone accountable to the rule of law and to the policies of the Sheriff's Department.
Deputy Doug Johnson has already been relieved of duty. The sheriff also announcing Holly Francisco is now the new assistant sheriff for countywide operations, without saying what's happening with current assistant sheriff for countywide operations, Robin Limon.
How many people are we talking about other than the deputy?
3.
3 people. And when you say the appropriate action has been taken, what does that mean? Does that mean suspension? Does that mean
Got to leave it at that.
can't?
In a statement, the Sheriff's Department would not comment directly on Lyman or Hasselrig, but said that appropriate administrative action was taken. So basically the buck got passed to them two. Those two, again, like I said a minute ago, they're on the chopping block. Retire or we're going to boot you out the door. But I wanted to bring this one to you. It's another one where something put into the baggage. Alex Villanueva being accused of knowing about this in March. Then the Sheriff's Department says, well, no, he found out in October. And then the sheriff says, no, I found out in November. Like nobody knows what's going on in the Los Angeles County Sheriff's Department. Were they all lost sheep? I don't know. I think we should pass this one on to Laura Shark and Tom Zebra. Not Ricky Mundy because he gets arrested too much. But what do you guys think?